Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to an episode of Dreadlocks. I'm Gunther the Great, and today we're going to be taking a look at B. Lou's Dreadlocks. And before we get into that, I'll make sure that you guys go follow Dreadlocks on Instagram. It's a little community of ours. If you have dreadlocks or you plan on getting dreadlocks, just for some inspiration, make sure to go follow Dreadlocks. And if you have some, make sure to tag us so you can be featured on the page. And you can also be featured on some of these videos when I do react to some of your guys' dreadlocks. So make sure to go follow and tag Dreadlocks. Now guys, let's just jump straight into B. Lou on Instagram. First and foremost, we got this picture right here. We see that he has kind of a rough aesthetic to his dreadlocks, which is kind of cool. And I really enjoy that style of dreadlocks, which is kind of like a semi-freeform style. And usually this starts out by kind of going a semi-freeform route. And if you guys know what semi-freeform is, it's basically either starting out completely freeform to where you just allow your hair to lock up on its own and then you start maintaining it, or he started out with some sort of maintenance and then moved into freeforming and then now doing a little bit of maintenance here and there. Either way will give you similar looks. But in this case, we see that he most likely started out kind of, well, let's figure it out. Let's actually scroll down a little further and see. We can see right here that he has kind of a sponge rub style of dreadlocks. And that all just starts from literally sponge rubbing, like I said. So if we look at right here, so if we even look at the picture right before, he doesn't have any defined dreadlocks. And what I mean by defined is there's no single dreadlocks here. It's just he has like little high top fade with an afro. And then you move to another photo and you can see that he has some definition. So this is 100%, I can say it right off the bat, this is used from a dreadlock sponge. And I'm linking a dreadlock sponge down below just so you can get your dreads just like him. But before you want to get one of those, you want to make sure that you have the proper hair type. And his hair type is very common for when I do these videos because you guys request people with this hair type, is in the 4s. I'll say that for sure. And he has most likely a 4B. And this is very common for people with dreadlocks. And I say this all the time, that it's just more of a suitable hair type. If you don't know your hair type, make sure to click the link down below that says what is your hair type. And it'll tell you exactly what your hair type is and what methods work best for you. So now that we know that he started out with sponge, we can take a look right here and see what else he possibly did. It looks like his hair's in 2-strand twist right now. So in that case, he went from sponge rub to using those sections to make 2-strand twists. So these are steps that you can take in order to get your dreadlocks just like him. Moving a little forward, we can see that he's got some hair growth and his sections are still holding up, but it is still more of a freeform style. Now fast forward a little bit, we can see a lot of definition right here, but it still has very freeform like style. It's very messy, for lack of better words, but it isn't a bad thing. And I really do enjoy this style. And this is definitely towards the beginning stages, obviously, because his hair is more standing up. It's all still put together. And that's just really how it goes in the beginning stages if you're not doing any maintenance, especially all the way down to the roots, which in this case, he's not doing any, twisting at all, which twisting gets your dreadlocks all the way down to the root. That's a pro tip for you guys. If you want your dreadlocks to go all the way down to your root, then twist it with gel. But in his case, like I said, there's no twisting. Now right here, we still see him going with the freeform style. There is more definition, so it could be that he's just twisting the tips of his dreadlocks, which is possible and you guys can do as well. But like I said, there's no definition all the way down to the roots. So it's just all done just by, twisting the tips of his dreadlocks. And boom, right here, we see him with a lot of definition. It's almost all the way down to the roots, but his roots are still pretty packed out. And that could just be that he has very thick hair. In this case, he really does. And this is where we start to see his dreads to start to hang. But we see that he does have still very organic sections. And it's not like he's paying a whole bunch of attention to maintaining it. It could be done one of two ways, and that could be either just completely crochet hooking, which is totally possible, or twisting with gel and then allowing it to lock up on its own and kind of semi-free-forming along the way. Either way, it's doing the same thing. Moving even a little further, we see him kind of with he kind of has like a ski mask kind of style with his dreadlocks. Ski mask Slum God. He has that kind of style with his dreadlocks. I remember when Ski Mask had his in the beginning stages, this is what they look like. And then also we see how he has, the ponytail on the left side of his head. And that is how Juice WRLD used to wear his hair as well. And it's became very popular after Juice WRLD is passed. Now here we go, getting into when his hair is more mature and longer. His hair is about, I would say 6 inches right here. So his hair is probably at about a year of growth, probably a little more. But we see the full maturity, and even looking at the dreadlocks, it could be possible that he did interlocking, because you can see to where there could be possible interlocks in here. And that could be it. I'll use this picture as a basis to see if he has or not. I can definitely say that somewhere down the line he did do interlocking, and I would not be surprised if he interlocked his entire head. So I'm actually going to label it that. He did interlocking, and to be honest, the product of the day is going to be the interlocking tool, which I never really say because a lot of people don't do an entire head of interlocks. So with that being said, it's very interesting because his interlocks are actually very thick, and it actually makes sense why his hair is still messy, although it is long and mature and he's been having dreadlocks for quite some time. What I'm thinking is that he created some sections, did the interlocking, but the sections he made were thick. So when you make your sections, make them bigger versus doing the skinnier ones. Because if you do skinny ones, they're gonna turn out looking like sister locks, or you know, those are actually interlocks as well. But to be honest, they turned out very well. And one thing I would encourage you is if you're at this stage of interlocking and your hair is already getting pretty long, I would definitely encourage you guys to start doing twisting with gel at this point, because your hair will start to be more maintained and look very more tight and very well put together. But if you want to go for this look, keep on interlocking or just allow it to semi-free form along the way. So guys, you can pick up an interlocking tool down below, which helps out a lot with maintenance. Even if you don't do interlocking all the time, you do it every now and then, probably once every 3 months or once every 4 months, just to take in a lot of that new growth. And I'm linking down a video below on how to actually do interlocking. It's actually one of the quickest ways to maintain your hair, and it does it instantly. It's an instant locking method, just like crochet hooking, but quicker than that. So the interlocking tool can be found on greatlocks.com as well, and it's along with, you know, dread sponge, crochet hooks, locking gel, anything you need in order to start and finish or maintain your dreadlocks is on greatlocks.com. So don't forget to go check that out. Link is down below. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.